There is a mountain, burned black at its peak, surrounded by broken altars, ancient carvings, and stone markers meant to keep people away. Hidden deep within the deserts of Saudi Arabia, it remains fenced off, guarded, and rarely discussed. But what if I told you this mountain might be the real Mount Sinai? Today we're digging beneath the surface of tradition to uncover a forgotten location. A place where the fire once fell, laws were written in stone, and history may have been deliberately buried. This is not just a story of geography, it's a journey into the heart of hidden biblical truth. For centuries, believers have looked to the Sinai Peninsula as the location of Mount Sinai, where Moses received the Ten Commandments, nestled near St. Catherine's Monastery. This site gained prominence during the 4th century, largely due to the influence of Helena, mother of Emperor Constantine, who sought to preserve Christian landmarks across the region. But when we examine the biblical account more closely, cracks begin to form in this long-held assumption. The Israelites didn't just flee Egypt and wander into the peninsula. They crossed a body of water and entered the land of Midian. In Exodus 3:1, Moses encounters God on the mountain of God, Horeb, while shepherding in Midian, an area historically linked to modern-day northwestern Saudi Arabia. So why do so few question the traditional site? Could we have been looking in the wrong place all along? If the idea of uncovering biblical truths in archaeology is exciting to you, then hit that like button. In recent decades, a wave of independent researchers and explorers have turned their attention to Jebel al-Lawz, a striking mountain in Saudi Arabia's northwest corner. Many believe this could be the real Mount Sinai, hidden in plain sight. Even the Apostle Paul, in Galatians 4:25, refers to Sinai as being in Arabia, which in his time included the region which we now call northwest Saudi Arabia. The features of Jebel al-Lawz are astounding. The peak is visibly scorched, blackened, as though burned by intense heat, despite the underlying granite. Could this match Exodus 19? Mount Sinai was completely enveloped in smoke because the Lord had descended on it in fire. Nearby lies a massive split rock, rising stories high, bearing signs of ancient water erosion, eerily similar to the rock Moses struck in Exodus 17. At the base of the mountain is a large altar-like structure surrounded by carvings of bulls, possibly linked to the golden calf incident. There are boundary stones resembling the ones God commanded to keep people away from the mountain's holy presence, even remnants of 12 stone pillars, and a nearby cave, potentially the one where Elijah fled, aligned with the biblical narrative. The puzzle pieces are compelling, and while the evidence remains controversial, the alignment with Scripture is too strong to ignore. Here's where things get even more intriguing. Jebel al-Lawz is located inside a restricted military zone in Saudi Arabia. Access is heavily controlled. Unauthorized visits have resulted in arrests and silenced witnesses. The mountain is surrounded by fencing, watchtowers, and warning signs. Not exactly the treatment of a random desert peak. Why such secrecy? Some suggest the Saudi government may be unaware or unwilling to admit that this mountain holds a biblical significance. Others believe something deeper is at play, a resistance to confirming the supernatural events described in Scripture. Because if the Exodus story is true, if God truly descended on a mountain and etched his laws in stone, then the modern secular timeline begins to crumble. This isn't the only case of hidden evidence. Sites like Göbekli Tepe were intentionally buried. The bones of giants seem to vanish. Maps and artifacts that challenge the mainstream narrative are quietly shelved. Could this mountain be another casualty in a long war against truth? A battle not just of archaeology, but of spiritual revelation. If Jebel al-Lawz truly is Mount Sinai, then the Exodus was more than symbolic. It was historical. That means the Israelites crossed not a shallow marsh, but the deep waters of the Red Sea. It means God didn't just inspire laws, he delivered them with thunder, fire, and cloud. It means Sinai still bears the torch marks of divine presence. This would change everything. How we read the Bible, how we view ancient history, and how we defend our faith in a skeptical world. It turns scripture from sacred story into sacred record. And perhaps God has allowed it to remain hidden, until now, for a reason. As modern archaeology begins to unearth the unseen, maybe this mountain is a reminder that God's glory, once concealed by smoke and stone, is being revealed again in our time, and we, like Moses, are being invited to step onto holy ground. So, is the real Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia? That's for you to decide. But as for me, I believe the truth is being uncovered, stone by stone, mountain by mountain, and it's pointing us back to the God that created it all. If this kind of content intrigues you, if you believe the ancient world still holds an echo of God's truth, subscribe and share this video. And if you're ready to go deeper, watch our deep dive into Göbekli Tepe next, where we explore the possibility of a pre-flood temple buried beneath the sands of time. Join me again as we continue uncovering the unseen.